Now, a few minutes ago, you were talking about your activities at Morehouse and going to Orangeburg for the massacre and being involved in Horace Tate's Senate campaign, these kinds of activities. You're playing a leadership role in these activities. Now, when did you begin to think of yourself, and maybe not consciously saying, I am a leader, but at some point, you've got to say, when I do things, people follow me. Do you remember when this happened to you?
No.
It had to happen to you at some point.
I don't, I heard a fella jump up in a meeting once and says, I am a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I was so turned off by it, I didn't know what to do. I never really paid
Well,
much
I
attention.
don't mean to say that you would say this in an egocentric way or pat yourself on the back in some way, but I would guess there's some point in your life in which you said, when I say, let's take this approach, other people say, yes, that's a good approach. Let's follow what Butts has to say. And there's got to be at some point, even in your younger life, in school activities, in college activities.
The only time I heard
rise
something
to
like
the top.
that about was one of my, a girlfriend of mine many years ago said she invited all of her friends to come to her house because there was a big party going on, and all of her girlfriends. And she said, and she invited me. So I went by the house, and they were all there. And one said, where are you going, Calvin? I said, well, I'm going to so-and-so's party. And said, whoa. She asked him, I said, Mommy, can we go? Mm-hmm. She saw me, she says, yeah, you go. So we walked down. I said, well, if you all were going to the party, why did you divert me over here? I could have gone straight to the party. She said, because if you come and my mother saw you and she knew you were going to the party, she would let all of us go.
I see. So is that your first recognition that people will follow you?
I don't know. It was funny to me, and but I guess I've never paid that much attention to it. It is that you do what you think mm-hmm. is right, and you try to convince other people, but you can't lead where you won't follow. Mm-hmm. And I have a stronger leader, you know. I guess, and I say this with all seriousness, I'm led by the Holy Spirit, mm-hmm. and it'll get you in trouble,
right?
And it might cost you your life, as we know from some others who are much more, who are real leaders. But I never taken time to calculate that. Mm-hmm. I've just never thought about it.
What about leadership roles in high school? You had some.
I was president in high school. I was president of the senior class.
Isn't that a leadership position?
Yeah, it is. It is. And
they didn't just give it to you.
Well,
you had to get it.
I had to get it. Yeah. You know, I was one of the students passed me in the hallway and said, "Calvin, why don't you run for senior class president?" I said, "Oh, come on." So I said, "Okay." Mm-hmm. I didn't campaign. Mm-hmm. But I won.
But why did you win? Was it some magic that you won?
No, I usually, when I say I'm going to do something, or I give my word, I try to keep it.
Sure.
And I guess most of the students understood that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I had excelled as a student, except for chemistry. And, you know, and I guess I had a certain level of popularity. Mm-hmm. And it's not bad being in the top spot either. Mm-hmm. You get some privileges. I'll tell you a funny story. There was a local television dance show, kind of like Dick Clark, but it was local, American Bandstand type show. And Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells were going to be on. Yeah. So they were looking for high school students to come on and be on the floor dancing like Soul Train kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So we had a dance-off, and I was part of the dance-off. And I said, no, the president should dance too, but I lost. Mm-hmm. But because I was the president, I still got to go. So, you know, those privileges.
I see.